Okay, here we go. All right, hello, and thank you for watching the Wednesday Live at 5. Today we're talking about the real reason behind your symptoms. And I know that triggers a lot of people because they're like, I know the real reason, I have MS. Not really. MS is just the name of the symptoms that you presented to the doctor, and they named them. They named them multiple sclerosis. And now we're going to find out why you actually have these symptoms that brought you to the doctor in the first place. So what I'm going to do right now, I am using StreamYard. And so I'm going to go on my phone right here so that I could see your comments. Because if you comment right now, I can only see the comments. Can't actually see who it's from. So as you jump on, say hello. Let me know where you're from. It's so much nicer when I'm talking to actual people. Okay, so I can see. Can I? All right, somebody say something so that
who it's from. So as you jump on,
I gotta always lower the volume. I do that every single time. Okay, let me just make sure that I could see the comments here, and there they are. Okay, very good. So let me refresh. I'm sorry. I'm usually much better prepared than this. We're getting there. We're getting there. Stay with me. We're going to be talking about EBV. Oh, thank you, everyone. You're jumping on, saying hello. Thank you so much. Okay, here are the comments. Oh, thank you. Okay, great. All right, Tanis, hi. How are you? Angela. Oh, Angela from London, Canada, London, Canada. Hello, Angela. Natalie, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for saying hello. I do the Wednesday live at 5 every week. Now, I started the series last week that is going to take you through the entire protocol. So I always say I'm never going to charge for the information that you need to heal yourself, because who the hell am I? I found the information online. You can absolutely find the information online. I went through the medical medium information, and I'll tell you why during this presentation. But the information is there. I never want to hold ransom the information that I was able to find. It will always be free in this group. Now, if you want the, let's say, like the accelerated version where you're like, boom, 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 every month we're doing something, you're running through this whole protocol, you're doing it with a group of other people. Of course, coaching is available. Of course, I charge for that. Enrollment opens a couple times a year. So we opened it May 16th was the first one. We're going to go through that one. And then probably, I would say, fall. I'm debating on whether or not fall, because we all know how crazy it is when school begins. So maybe the end of August, I don't know, or maybe the end of September. But enrollment will open sometime in the fall. This way, if you want to do it with the protocol with a group of people, then great, it's there for you. But just know, sign on here Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm always going to give you the chunks of information that you need to heal yourself. It is absolutely possible to heal from MS. I was paralyzed in my arms, my legs. I was on the medication. I kept getting worse. I used a wheelchair. I used a cane. Anything I could. I used walls to get around. I laid in bed at my worst point. No arms, no legs. And I laid there and I prayed to God. I said, please help me find a way. And I promise you, if you help me find a way, I will spend the rest of my life making sure that everybody who needs this information gets it. Am I freezing? Because I feel like every couple of seconds I start freezing. I should probably close down the hundreds of tabs that I have open on my computer. I don't know if it works that way, but we're going to try it. I'm going to close it down here. Okay, go back to StreamYard. All right, very good. So what the hell is the real reason behind your symptoms? What is going on? Why do I have these symptoms? The real reason behind your symptoms, if you don't already know, is the Epstein-Barr virus. Yes, it sounds crazy simple, and you're thinking to yourself, really, I have a virus? That's what's causing all of my symptoms? Yes, it is the virus. And once you know how to target this virus, once you know what you're fighting against, that's when you begin to heal. Because this is the smartest, most elusive virus there is out there. This virus is able to evade medical tests because it leaves the bloodstream, right? Medical tests only test your bloodstream. They don't biopsy your organs. So the medical industry still doesn't know how to combat this virus because it doesn't even know that the virus is out there causing all of these symptoms. Now, I posted today about, and we're going to go through the 4 stages of the Epstein-Barr virus, because I found it extremely interesting when I learned about it years ago. It was like reading a biography of my childhood and my early 20s. I've watched, as I read about each stage, I'm like, my God, that started in middle school. Oh my God, that was when I got married. I cannot believe this. So hopefully this information is going to provide you with the answers that you need to finally begin healing. And then at the end, I'll wrap it all up for you and let you know exactly how to target this virus and how to kill it. Because this is a virus kind of like the other ones, like COVID, like the flu. It needs certain things to live. It needs an environment. It needs food. So if we take away its food source and we create an environment that it can't live in, the virus dies. Yes, you do have to do this for the rest of your life, but I show you how to do it in a very easy way. Not on today's video, but sign on here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and I promise you, starting last week and for the next 6 to 7 weeks, I'm going to give you every single piece of the protocol that you need to heal. Now, if you want that information faster and you're like, I don't want to wait 7 weeks, just go to my YouTube channel. I've done all these videos before, and you can watch all of them. And little by little, you're going to start making changes in your life. You can't do everything all at once. You will overwhelm your body. You will overwhelm your mind. You have to do this let's say 1 month at a time. You're going to incorporate something new. And that's why the Path to Healing MS work program is a 4-month program. You can't do this overnight. It is an evolution. So where did the comments go? Okay, here they are. Oh, hi, Marusha. You're on. How are you? Mary, Sarah from Alberta, Diane from PNW. Where is PNW? What is PNW? And maybe everyone knows but me. Tell me. Tennis, yes. Every few minutes it freezes. It does, right? I wonder if it's still doing that or if that was just in the beginning, because I haven't noticed. I'm seeing it freeze again. I'm wondering. Let me just see something. Let me just refresh and see if that makes a difference. Oh, and I'm still on. Okay, perfect. I wasn't sure if it was going to start from the beginning and lose everybody. Okay, so I just refreshed my screen. So just let me know if, Pacific Northwest, Diana, thank you. Okay, good. Let me know if it's still freezing. I haven't noticed anything yet, so I think we're good. What I'm going to do, I don't normally do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read through what I prepared, because most of it is from the medical medium information, and I will put this, the link of where I got this information, in the comments when we get done with this broadcast. The reason why I want to do that is because normally I just speak off the top of my head and I branch off and I don't cover everything. I want to make sure that I cover everything here. This is the most important video that I do. That's why I say I love doing this video, because it's the most important one that sets up your healing. Oh, I was on the wrong site. Okay, good, but you're here now. Okay, perfect. This is the video that is going to set you up, because you cannot kill what you can't see. You cannot heal from what you don't know you're sick from. This is the one that's going to give you all of the answers. So take notes or don't take notes. These videos go on YouTube, so I download them when I get off the video here, and I put them on YouTube usually by the next day or that same night if I'm having a good day. All right, so I'm going to start right off the bat with, from the beginning. This is what I wrote, and like I said, a lot of this comes from the medical medium. The Epstein-Barr virus is the hidden cause of MS. It's also the hidden cause of all the other autoimmune diseases, but we will get to that later. Right now, we're talking about MS. There are 2 types of EBV that result in this diagnosis. One, this type of EBV, the person exhibits neurological symptoms such as weak legs, weak arms, mild tremors, and severe tingles and numbness. These are the results of the EBV neurotoxins. EBV, by the way, Epstein-Barr virus. You're going to hear that a lot throughout this video. These are results of the EBV neurotoxins inflaming various nerves in the body. It's commonly diagnosed as MS or Lyme disease, though no lesions will show on medical scans. The second kind reaches the brain, where it can cause lesions, mild forms of encephalitis, which is just a very fancy word for saying brain swelling, and very similar symptoms as the previous type. As you've been diagnosed with brain lesions, do not fear them. This is important. Hundreds of thousands of people walk around with various lesions on their brain, from small to large, and they continue to live their lives. In many cases, the symptoms that go along with this type of EBV are not from the lesions themselves. They're still from those EBV neurotoxins. Because MS occurs in stage 4 of EBV, people with this condition will also have a thyroid problem, whether diagnosed or not. The best way to deal with either type of MS diagnosis and with the thyroid issue is to deal with the EBV at hand and to strengthen the nervous system. This is taken directly from the medical medium. Now, the reason why I put so much weight in the medical medium information is because when I first started healing, the medical medium wasn't around. It was 2000 and Julie was born in 6, 7, 8. It was in 2008 that I started this journey. I said my daughter fell. She was 2 years old at the time. She fell in front of me. I was paralyzed in my arms, in my legs. My husband at the time left me alone with her for only a few minutes, and she fell. She hit her head, and I couldn't get to her. And her little chubby arms were reached out and said, "Mama, please, Mama, please. Mama, please help me." I couldn't get to her. Something inside of me snapped. And I thought to myself, I'm either going to have MS or I'm going to be a mother. There's no way in hell I can do both. And that's when I prayed to God, please help me. What I did then, because something snapped inside of me, what I did then was I decided I am going to heal from MS no matter what. I don't care what it takes. I always knew somehow inside me, my brain went, there's nothing wrong with your body. Your body is not attacking itself. It can't attack itself. So I thought, all right, well, what's happening? Why am I getting all of these symptoms? So I thought, well, why is my immune system on the attack? There's only 3 reasons. I either have a virus, a fungus, or bacteria. So I'm going to treat my body like I have all of those. So for years, from 2008 to 2015, that's what I did. I treated my body like I had a virus. I eliminated all foods that could potentially feed a virus, feed the bacteria, feed fungus. And that was gluten and dairy and eggs. Not eggs. I didn't know about eggs at the time. I'll get to that later. I eliminated everything that I thought was the issue. I slowly started to get better, so I kept on going, and I tried everything under the sun, and I slowly got better. And as I saw improvement, I would find books that helped me with more information, and I would put little tiny pieces of the puzzle together. I got to about 60% healed, and I say that because I still had brain fog midday. I still had numb, tingly leg, but I wasn't paralyzed. I had become single. That's a whole nother story. I'd become single overnight. Nothing bad happened to him. He just left. So everyone's like, oh my God, did he die? No, he didn't die. Oh, I just watched my brain go. I was just going to say something really mean, but I'm not going to say it. No, he didn't die. He's perfectly fine, but he just left. So I became a single parent overnight. And the stress of that, I thought, that this shit's going to take me down. I'm like, I'm not going to let it take me down. I'm going to keep going. So from 2008 to 2015, I healed myself about 60% of the way, thinking my body wasn't attacking itself. Let me help my immune system out any way that I can. So 2015, the medical medium releases his first book, and he talks about the Epstein-Barr virus being the cause of all of my symptoms. He spoke the way I thought, and he put it down on paper, and he mapped out exactly how to kill the virus. And I thought, holy shit, this guy sounds like he's insane. I'm going to give him a try. He's talking to the spirit of compassion. He's not a medical doctor, which was great because I had such an aversion at that point towards any medical doctor because they all called me crazy. So I gave it a try, and I went from 60% healed to 110% healed, absolutely no symptoms, and I was amazed. And that's when I started helping other people. Everyone needs to know this information, which is why I do what I do. But this is also why I quote the medical medium any chance that I get, because he's the one. If it wasn't for that book, I don't know if I don't think I would have healed 100%, because he's the one who told me about the eggs. He's the one who made a target for me to hit, the Epstein-Barr virus. From there, I did so much research and followed everything that he said, and I healed 100%. Today, I put it in a protocol. I put it in the starve, kill, detox protocol, and that doesn't mean starve yourself. That means starve the virus. Starve the virus. Kill it with your extremely strong immune system, and then detox it out of your body, because even the dead corpse of the virus is enough to cause symptoms. The dead corpse of the virus is going to cause you neurological symptoms. Keep that in mind. That's why it's so important we get the detox first, and then we in the protocol. We do the detox first, we get the systems of the body detoxing, and then we go for the kill and the starve. There's a whole process to it. But again, you don't need the coaching. You could absolutely follow this free Minding Your Soul group and get all the information that you need. The coaching is out there if you're like me and want to do things with a community, with a village of people who likes to talk every week. We get on Zoom every week. But anyway, let's go back to the 4 stages. There are 4 stages of the Epstein-Barr virus that I think you're going to find very, very interesting. All right, so how bad is this Epstein-Barr virus? Well, about 320 million people in the U.S. There are over 320 million people in the U.S. and over 225 million people have some form of EBV. Why? Because there are about 65 different strains of the virus that go from really not so bad to awful and causing symptoms at a very young age. There is so much that is misunderstood about the virus because medical tests don't see it yet. They don't see it yet, so they can't. Let's go into the stages. I'm getting ahead of myself. I promised I wouldn't do that. Am I missing anything? Okay. If you have any questions, hey Gail, hey Kelly. Kelly, if I tested negative for EBV, then diagnosed with MS, stay tuned. Okay, we're going to get to that at the end because most people are going to test negative for EBV, but positive from the antibodies. So let me tell you about stage 1. And then you're going to understand why you're no longer testing positive. So in stage 1, if you catch EBV, it goes through an initial dormant period of floating around in your bloodstream, doing little more than slowly replicating itself and building its numbers, and waiting for an opportunity to launch a more direct infection. For example, if you physically exhaust yourself for weeks and give yourself no chance to fully recover or allow your body to become deprived of essential nutrients like zinc or vitamin B12, or undergo a traumatic emotional experience such as a breakup, yes, that is emotional and traumatic for many of us, and the death of a loved one, the virus will detect your stress-related hormones and choose that time to take advantage. EBV, I'm reading right now. It's just so you know, this is the medical medium information. EBV will also act when you're undergoing a major hormonal change. For example, puberty, pregnancy, menopause. That is why 3 months after pregnancy, this is when people normally get diagnosed. A common scenario is when a woman goes through childbirth. Afterwards, she may feel various symptoms, including fatigue, aches and pains, depression. In this case, EBV isn't exploiting your weakness, but the fact that the hormones are a powerful food source for it. Their abundance acts as a trigger. The hormones flooding your body effectively does for the virus what spinach does for Popeye. It is such a strong food source, which is why this is called the woman's disease, because we're the ones who have that influx of the hormones, puberty, childbirth, menopause. We're constantly going through some kind of hormonal upheaval. EBV is humanely patient. Stage 1, the period of fortifying itself and waiting for an ideal opportunity, can take weeks, months, or even decades or longer, depending on a variety of factors. The virus is especially vulnerable during stage 1. However, it's also undetectable through tests and causes no symptoms, so you don't even know you have it. So in stage 1, you come in contact with somebody, you get the virus inside of you, and the virus is like, ooh, this is a nice environment. Look at all this stuff that I could live on, and it starts replicating and building its numbers. Now, it's very vulnerable in this stage. You can absolutely kill it in this stage, but you don't know to kill it because you don't have any symptoms. Okay, so that's why stage 1, depending on the strain, it could either be a very mild strain or a very aggressive strain. Remember, there's 65 different strains out there. Depending on what strain you have, it could take weeks to go into stage 2, or it could take decades to go into stage 2. That's why this is so different, and doctors are having such a hard time diagnosing it because the same thing looks so different in everyone's body. So that's stage 1. Stage 2, the virus is ready to do battle with your body. That's when EBV first makes its presence known, usually by turning into mononucleosis. This is the famous mono that we hear about that's been called the kissing disease, right? It's called the kissing disease because Epstein-Barr virus, it's transmitted by fluids. So think about this. This is when it's most contagious, okay? Say it goes into mono, and you go, oh, well, I never had mono. I must not have it. You could have mono and have a scratchy throat similar to allergies and never go to the doctor and never get diagnosed with mono. If you've never been diagnosed with mono, if you don't even remember being sick with it, that doesn't mean you don't have it. The best test is to go get a blood test. Well, Janine, you just said it leaves your blood. Yes, it does leave your blood, but the antibodies that your immune system leaves behind will still be there. So that's when the doctors go, oh, well, you have the antibodies for EBV, but you don't have the active virus. That is incorrect. You have the antibodies, which is the proof that you had the virus in your bloodstream. The virus doesn't ever die unless you have a targeted attack on it. The virus goes into your organs. The next phase after stage 2, after it makes its presence known, after you have mono or don't have mono, maybe you have mild symptoms, severe symptoms, but that is stage 2. After stage 2, you're going to recover, everything's going to be fine. Stage 3, the virus has left your bloodstream and is now in your organs. Depending on what organ it heads for is going to determine your symptoms. Those are the set of symptoms you're going to take to the doctor, and that's going to determine your diagnosis. So let me say that again. When EBV leaves the bloodstream and heads for your organs, it wants to go into your organs because that's where the heavy metals are and the food sources, all the toxins that it loves to feed on. It makes a run for your organs, not all of them at the same time. Whatever organ that your EBV has settled in will give you a collection of symptoms. Those symptoms are what you take to the doctor. And the doctor goes, oh, we have a name for those symptoms. It's called multiple sclerosis. That's when the EBV made a run for our liver and our spleen. If your EBV made a run, like in the case of my sister, for the thyroid and settled in the thyroid, then you get diagnosed with thyroidism. If your EBV is in your intestinal tract and it's an aggressive form, then you get diagnosed with Crohn's disease. You see where I'm going? If it's your skin that's affected, because the dermatoxin that's caused by the virus affects the skin. If it's your skin that's affected, you get, oh God, what is it? Not Crohn's. I can't think of the name of it right now. Somebody tell me. Oh God, it's right, lupus. You get lupus. That's the big patches on your skin. So wherever the EBV, whatever organ it settles in, that's what your diagnosis is going to be. That's why we say EBV is the cause of all autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases, they were called autoimmune because they think that the body is automatically attacking the body. It's not attacking the body, it's attacking the virus. The virus is in the body. So earlier today, I posted in the group about germ theory. Back in the 1900s or 1800s, before they discovered germs, they used to think that foul smells were the cause, and bad spirits were the cause of disease. Then somebody discovered germs, and doctors started washing their hands, and the diseases went away. All of those people who had died before were a result of the doctors not washing their hands. You're living through history right now. Doctors are just now discovering the Epstein-Barr virus in our organs. They're just now going, oh my God, the body is not attacking itself. It's attacking a virus that we were never able to see before. Now, the medical industry just came out with these articles and just started announcing this while I was pregnant. I don't exactly know what month that was, but my son is only 4 months old, so it wasn't that long ago. They're currently working on a vaccine for the Epstein-Barr virus because they understand the body is no longer attacking itself. When the word autoimmune will stop being used, when we'll be able to target the Epstein-Barr virus, I don't know. People say it's going to be probably another decade because honestly, what is a vaccine going to do for the millions of people who already have this virus? I'm not looking at okay, if you guys have any, psoriasis is another one. Thank you, Gail, thank you, because I couldn't think of lupus. But psoriasis and eczema, that's another one. Those are skin conditions that are caused by another form, like another strain of the Epstein-Barr virus. Now, before we get into, so that was stage 3. Stage 1, you don't know you have it. Stage 2, mononucleosis, you have symptoms, whether they're really bad, mononucleosis, or not so bad. You don't even know you have it. You have symptoms of like allergies. Stage 3, it goes into your organs. Now, here's another thing. before we go into stage 4. The Epstein-Barr virus has this best friend. They call it a cofactor. It's called the Streptococcus bacteria. The Streptococcus bacteria will either travel north or south in your body. Very rarely does it do both. If it travels north in your body, you've had sinus infections your entire life and strep throat. Anytime you got tired, anytime you got sick, you got strep throat. That was my life growing up. If it goes south, you have UTIs, bladder infections, everything down there doesn't work properly. That's the Streptococcus virus. When you kill the Epstein-Barr virus, that's when you are going to eliminate all of those symptoms, all of these symptoms. Excuse me. All right, so we've got stage 1. You don't know you have it. You contracted it. It's building its numbers. Stage 2, it's in your bloodstream. It's causing you symptoms. Stage 3, it has foreign organ. That organ, once it's riddled with that virus, is going to cause you symptoms that cause you to go to the doctor and get a diagnosis. Depending on what organ is in there or what organ the EBV has decided to take a home up in will determine your symptoms, and that's what's going to determine your diagnosis. For us with MS, it's in our liver and it's in our spleen. So, scrolling down here to stage 4. Let me see if I missed anything. No, okay. No, I don't want to go into that much detail. The issues that may result from an aggressive variety of EBV. Okay, let me go through this. Here are some of the issues. There's 4 things that I want to talk about. These are some of the symptoms that come from a very aggressive variety of the Epstein-Barr virus, okay? 1, your liver is performing so sluggishly that it does a poor job of flushing toxins out of your system. A sluggish liver affects almost everyone today. It's critical to understand how to support your liver properly. Okay, that's 1, your liver it affects. 2, you get hepatitis C. EBV is actually the primary cause of hepatitis C. Your liver's sluggish performance leading to the lowering of your stomach's hydrochloric acid and your intestinal tract starting to become toxic. This in turn can result in some food not being fully digested and instead putrefying inside your intestinal tract, resulting in bloating or constipation. So you have a poor performing liver, try saying that 3 times fast, and then you're dealing with bloating and constipation. 3, you're developing food sensitivities to foods that never caused you a problem before. This happens when the virus consumes a food it likes, such as cheese, and transforms it into something your body doesn't recognize, causing your immune system to attack. And 4, the virus bides its time until it senses a stress-related hormone indicating you're in an especially vulnerable state, say as a result of burning the candle at both ends, enduring a severe emotional blow, or suffering a physical jolt, such as being in a car accident, or it senses when you're undergoing hormonal upheaval. Think about that. Think about why this is called the women's disease. Why does this affect women so much? Stress-related hormones, right? You're in an especially vulnerable state, a result of burning the candle at both ends. As women, we take on so much. We take care of everybody else and let ourselves get into such a state of the body's going, I can't do this anymore. And that's when you get the diagnosis. Think about when you were diagnosed, what was going on in your life, what stressful event was going on in your life. I bet you can probably put the 2 together and say, oh yeah, that's when this happened, or that's when this happened. The virus is going to take advantage of your most vulnerable states. And I feel like a lot of women, we're the ones who let ourselves go. We're the ones taking care of everybody else. Plus, we're the ones who are going through the childbirth. So, sure, everyone goes through puberty, but men and women don't go through childbirth. We're the ones who go through multiple childbirths, right? So that hormonal upheaval, hormones are the one thing that we can't do anything about. Everything else, we can take away the food source, we can detox the virus out of our bodies, we can do so much to remove heavy metals, we can't remove hormones. That's why when they say, oh, you have to control the stress in your life, you're like, really? Why? How do I do that? We have to control the amount of adrenaline being pumped throughout our bodies, because that is what's going to put us in the vulnerable state. However, there is hope. No matter how elusive and how strong this virus is, no matter what form of aggressive strain you have, there is something that we can do, and we're all seeing the results of it by following the protocols that are out there. And I don't even want to say just my protocol. There are tons of protocols out there. The Walls protocol, all the protocols that are out there understand, even if they don't talk about the Epstein-Barr virus, they understand that we need to get our bodies back. We need to stop putting the shit in. We need to start putting the good stuff in and bring our bodies back into balance. The one thing that all the protocols have in common is that they understand they have to bring the body back into balance. We have to give it what it needs so that it can take care of us. Our bodies are always healing. There is no case where the body cannot heal, unless you have severed a nerve, of course. There is no case in which you cannot heal. So if you're sitting home and you're paralyzed right now and you're going, well, there's no hope for me, I'm already paralyzed. No, the body is always going to create a detour, always going to create a detour. What about when I was laying there paralyzed, right? I eventually got the use of my legs back, but every time I got sick, let me go back to seeing you guys. Every time I got sick, I would lose my legs. Why? Because the signal that left my brain would hit the scar on my cervical spine and it would stop. And it would go, I'm too tired. I can't go around. This is too much. Once I got my body healthy and strong again, the signal would hit the scar and go, oh, I can't go this way, but I need to go down to the foot. All right, let me take a detour. And I would just take a detour around the scar and continue down to my foot. That's how I was able to heal again. Now you're saying, well, I don't know if my body can do that. Your body can do that. You're human. That's what the body does. There's not just one route to get the signal from your brain all the way down to your foot. There's not just one route. You'll learn that in the MS gym. They talk about that all the time, about how your body will take plan A, plan B, plan C, and will keep going through the whole alphabet to get that signal to where it goes. But if it's too tired, if you don't give your body what it needs, then that signal is going to stop and it's going to say, I'm sorry, I got other things to do. I can't do this. Now, in the first couple of years that I was healing, anytime that I would get sick, let's say a cold or something as bad as the flu, anytime I'd get sick, my body would not take the detour and I would lose my legs. I would not be able to walk for the entire time that I was sick. I'm sorry, I see that it's still freezing. Hopefully when I download it and I put it on YouTube, it's not going to freeze. So if this is annoying, it will be on YouTube in its entirety tonight. So anyway, so I would lose my legs anytime that I was sick. Why doesn't that happen now? Well, after about 5 or 6 years, yes, it took me a very long time. After about 5 or 6 years, I got my body into such a state that even if I did get the flu, which I did, I still had use of my legs. I was the happiest flu patient ever. I'm like, I'm walking. Everyone's like, yeah, but you have the flu. Don't you feel awful? I'm like, I feel like hell, but I'm walking. Like they didn't understand the severity of it because, well, my family did. Because my body, as sick as it was no longer too tired to take the detour because it wasn't a detour. It was just the primary route. That's what your body does. It will take a detour and eventually the detour will become the primary route. So I want you to understand that no matter what part of your body that you can't feel right now, and doctors are just telling you, oh, well, you have MS, this is expected. You know, you're either going to get better or you're not. We don't know. This is MS. They don't give you any answers. Just know that your body can always first make the detour and then make it a primary route so that you never lose your legs again. You never lose your arms again. I'm telling you, I was very nervous. Well, one side of my brain was very nervous and the other side of my brain was like, maybe not. When I was going into this pregnancy, so my son is 4 months old. I have a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old. And after each child, when they were about 2 years old, well, actually, no, it was like 4 months with Julie, I got diagnosed when Christopher was 2. And then right after Julie was born, I went for my regular checkup, 3-month checkup with a neurologist. And he put me on the beta-seron, scared the shit out of me and said, listen, Janine, if your immune system is attacking your optic nerve, and if it moves even the slightest bit, you will be blind. And then there's nothing that we can do for you. So you need to go on the medication today. So of course I did. So I went on the medication and I just continued to get worse and worse and worse. So what was my point in talking about that? Body taking detours. Where was I going? Oh, so the third kid. Okay, so after each kid in the past, horrible things happened. So here I am. My daughter was 16 years old when I got pregnant. Well, she's still 16 years old. And I got pregnant with my third one. I remarried, the whole thing, a whole nother story. And I'm thinking, my God, well, this is going to be the test because, yes, I eliminated the gluten, the dairy, the eggs, the heavy metals. I've gotten my body so healthy that a virus cannot live in my body. However, I can't control the hormones. The hormones are going to go nuts because not only did I just get pregnant, but I went through IVF. I put my body through hell with hormones. Doctor was trying to get my estrogen to 300, right? So the first round of IVF didn't work. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm surprised it didn't work. We were trying to get your estrogen up to 300. He's like, and I'm like, well, what'd you get it to? He's like, 1,000. Like, what? Really? No wonder I was so insane. The second round of IVF, they doubled everything. They doubled all of the drugs. So there I am thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, well, this is going to be the ultimate test because there's nothing I can do about this. So I didn't get any symptoms. Long story short, I didn't get any symptoms. So the body can heal. The body can absolutely heal. We just need to stop. Oh, so I didn't go to stage 4. Sorry, guys. Every time I think I'm going to stay on track. So stage 4 of the Epstein-Barr virus, once it's in your organs, the next stage, the next goal of the virus is to ride your nervous system. The virus wants to ride your nervous system because that is the freeway, the highway to all of your organs. Okay. So when people get diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, right? Or fibromyalgia. Oh, fibromyalgia. That's stage 4. So it's on our nerves. So what have we learned here today? All of our MS symptoms are due to the Epstein-Barr virus. Can the Epstein-Barr virus be killed? It can absolutely be killed. Can you do it by yourself? Absolutely. I did. I found all the information online and I did it little by little. It took me over 10 years. What I did when I finally got the system, when I could see in hindsight what I did, what I should have done, when I should have done it, I put it all together in a program. So like I said, you don't need the 4-month path to healing protocol. It's there for you to accelerate your healing. Enrollment opens a couple times a year. We did it in May. We're going to do it again in the fall. That brings you through the entire protocol of killing the Epstein-Barr virus in a way that doesn't overtake your life. We all have either kids, our house, a spouse, jobs, family, so much stuff going on that if I were to tell you, do all these things, you wouldn't be able to do them overnight. So whether you're doing it in my program or you're doing it on your own, my advice is to take one thing at a time. I gave away the module 1 of the protocol during the MS Summit, the symptom-free MS Summit that Matt Rowe just put on. That is going to walk you through the entire protocol 1, the lemon water and the celery juice. We always want to get the detox process or systems of our body working first. We need to activate those systems first so that when we go to starve and kill the virus, the detox systems are already in place and they flush it right out of us because we want to mitigate those die-off symptoms. We don't want to kill the virus so quickly that it completely overwhelms our body and our brain and it takes us down even further. So last week's Live at 5 was on the morning routine, the module 1 of the protocol. That's where you got to get started to get those detox systems started, right? And then we go into the starve and the kill. So starting last week, you can download the PDF, go to mindingyoursoul.com/the morning routine. That will give you the PDF that goes along with last week's Live at 5 on the morning routine. This week, we're talking about the Epstein-Barr virus. This is giving you the target. What are we trying to kill? And in the following weeks, we're just going to continue with every single protocol of the every single module of the protocol so that you can heal, so that you have all the information that you need to heal. Because honestly, I couldn't afford a coach. I couldn't afford shit when I was healing. And I did it all myself. Yeah, it took me longer. And, that's why hopefully this group, it won't take you as long. And if you want to do it even faster, if you want to do it with a group of other women who are, people really, it was just so happens we have women, but we're not shut down to men. If you want to do it with a group of other people who are doing it and you want to address the body, the mind, and the soul, because I firmly believe that you cannot heal anything unless you address everything. I can give you all the information in the world about how to heal your body, but it needs to go together with the mind and the soul. So part of the Path to Healing program includes Matt Rowe, the mindset coach, and Catherine Rose, the vibrational healer. You'll see all of those videos on YouTube or in this group. So for all the new people there, Live at 5 is the place to be to learn the most. We do it live here. If you have questions, you ask them, which reminds me, I got to go look at the comments. But if you can't make it live, don't worry about it. They're on YouTube. They'll live there forever. And you can watch them at your leisure whenever. All right, so let me go to some of these questions. Oh, hi, Irina. I see that you're on. Mary, Chrissy. Oh, hey, Ginger. Thank you guys for joining. I love seeing you here. All right, so we have a question from Sherry. What about lesions? Does EBV cause lesions and demyelination? Okay, so yes on the demyelination, because the EBV is eating away at the myelin, right? Because what is myelin? It's a very dense protein. It's a great food source for EBV. So the EBV resides on the myelin, eats away at it. What happens? Your immune system comes along and goes, hey, that's my myelin. Stop eating that. And it attacks the virus and starts to kill the virus. The medical tests don't see the virus. They only see the immune system attacking and the myelin. So that's where autoimmune came from. Now, the other part of your question was, does EBV cause lesions? Yes, because lesions are scars. Demyelination is scars. Those are the same thing. Now, I want to bring up another topic. Had a client recently who was doing so well. She was getting to that 8-week mark where, so the virus has a 6-week life cycle. It only lives for 6 weeks, but it keeps replicating and we keep feeding it. So that's 6 weeks and 6 weeks and 6 weeks. So you need about 8 weeks to kill the virus and to flush it out of your body. So she was getting there. She's at 8 weeks and she had a schedule and everyone was commenting on how well she was walking. She was dancing in the kitchen with her husband. Like everything has gone so nice. Then she had a routine follow-up or a routine scheduled visit with her neurologist who scared the shit out of her and said, you have active lesions on your brain. You need to go on steroids today. So she did. She also got the contrast with the MRI. The contrast is filled with heavy metals that are feeding the virus. When I spoke to her, I said, remember a couple weeks ago when you said you had the UTI? She said, yeah. I said, why didn't you go on steroids then? She goes, what do you mean? I said, why would you go on steroids today when the doctor's telling you have an active lesion? What is an active lesion? And she answered, she's like, well, that's when the Epstein-Barr is, your immune system is attacking the Epstein-Barr. I said, and what happens when you have a UTI? The virus is in your urinary tract and your immune system is attacking it, causing the inflammation. I said, so what is the difference? You've got the EBV over here with your immune system attacking it. You've got the EBV over here with your immune system attacking it. They're both the same thing. But lesion is a very scary word. It's a scar. That's all it is. When your body is attacking itself, your immune system is attacking the virus. Your immune system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. But yet the doctors are shaming us into thinking our bodies are doing something wrong. Our bodies are not doing anything wrong. Our bodies are doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Protect us, kill viruses, kill everything that's not supposed to be in there. So I want you to understand, I'm not a doctor. I'm not certified in anything. I'm just a person who figured out this whole MS shit, healed myself, and I'm forwarding the information to you guys. But I want you to understand, if you have a urinary tract infection, and if the doctor says you have active lesions, those are the exact same thing. Look up all the information on the Epstein-Barr virus. I'll post the shit out of it in the Minding Your Soul group. This is what you have. You have a virus. Once you create an environment inside your body that doesn't allow viruses to grow, viruses hate the inside of my body. It can't grow. It has no food. It has a shitty environment. It's all alkaline. Viruses can't survive. I no longer have to worry about symptoms. So let's take COVID. Here's a great example. My husband gets pissed off every time he gives me a COVID test when he has COVID. So he's now had COVID twice. Who just said that? I saw that. Oh, hi, Suzanne. I just saw you. I'm late. Don't even worry about it. It's recorded. Thanks for joining in. So my husband had COVID twice. And each time he's like, take a test. I'm like, I don't need to take a test. I know I'm negative. He's like, how do you know? Just take a test. I'm like, all right. So I take the test. I shove it all the way up my nose until I'm swabbing my brain. I get the test results. And of course they're negative. He's like, how is that possible? Not to get too deep or personal, but you know, when he got diagnosed with COVID, we had sex the night before. There were fluids being exchanged. I never got it. Both times I never got it. And the reason why I never got it is because viruses cannot live inside of my body. what you're hearing right now is, oh my God, what does she do? How does she live? How does she live happily? Listen, I'm Italian. I'm Sicilian. There is no way I'm living without pizza, pasta, sandwiches, subs. Like, I do it all. I eat it all. But I have found a way to make it delicious and have it gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free, okay? Those are the things you need to do. So let's get into that part now. Oh my God, it's 5:45 already. I don't know how I talk for this long and time flies by. All right, so how do you kill the virus? Okay, now that I know the 4 stages and I just, went through the bio of my childhood, how do I kill this thing? It's easy. Gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free. That's what you got to be. Okay, those 3 things are going to feed the virus. You want to starve the shit out of the virus by not giving it that. You want to you want to remove all of the heavy metals that we've accumulated just by living on this earth, not by doing anything wrong. We're constantly coming into contact with heavy metals. You have to remove them. That's a very powerful food source. How are you going to remove your hormones? You're not. But once you remove the dairy, the gluten, and the eggs, and the heavy metals, the virus does not have enough to feed on. You also got to control your stress too. You got to make sure that you have someone who you're living with who just causes you stress every freaking day. You got to deal with that. So what we do in this protocol is we call it the starve, kill, detox. But we start with the detox. I don't know why I didn't name it detox, starve, kill. I don't know. I can't even say that. So we start with the detox. Module 1, the morning routine, is all about the lemon water and the celery juice. I talked about that on last week's live at 5. Go watch that one. Then you have to remove the heavy metals. Okay. While you're doing that, you have to remove the gluten, the dairy, and the eggs. You do it in a way that tastes good. Do not deprive yourself. If you live deprived, you won't stick with anything. Then we remove the fragrances, we remove the chemicals in our everyday life, because if you can smell it, EBV can feed off of it. Let me say that again. If you can smell it, EBV can feed off of it. Yeah, it's not horrible. So those Glade plugins, those are chemicals that EBV loves and can absolutely feed off of those. Again, don't get overwhelmed. This is a 4-month process. The Path to Healing MS is a 4-month process. We take everything month by month. You don't need to go into the Path to Healing. You don't need to do that. All the information is in here. It's there for you if you want that coaching. If you want that weekly, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, we're talking about the body, the mind, and the soul. We're talking to other people. What'd you do? What are the peaks and valleys? Also another very important video to watch. The peaks and valleys of healing. You have to understand that. Also on YouTube. Hold on. We have a very big paragraph here and I want to read it. Chris says, wow, so before I had mobility issues, I had 4 CTS, and 1 MRI. Not CTS. MRIs, CAT scans. I'm thinking you're meaning. And 1 MRI with contrast, the contrast, within 4 months, along with a bunch of antibiotics. Then within a month of getting cleared from pneumonia, I got racked with all over pain and could hardly walk or write. Oh my goodness. Or move. And have been messed up ever since. Oh, and stress through the roof. Yeah. What if you can't smell it? My smell tastes very diminished the last 10 years. Sign it. CT scan. That's what I thought you meant. CT scan. Thank you. Okay. So, Chris, listen, I hear you. You just described my early 20s and everything that I was going through. Listen, we do the best that we can, right? So, yeah, now you understand. When you're going through all of that, the contrast with the MRI filled with heavy metals, everyone who gets an MRI gets told you need it with contrast so we can see if your lesions are active. That just means if we can see your immune system, whether or not it's attacking. We already know that it is. We have all the symptoms. Our immune system is attacking. You need to stop it by killing the virus. The MRI isn't going to do anything about that. You've been through hell. You've been through all of the tests. I'm so sorry. Go by your symptoms. All of these symptoms that you have right now, everything that I just went through in this video, are they resonating with you? Do you have these symptoms? Were you sick as a child? Mono, strep throats, UTIs, bladder issues, whatever they are. If you have these symptoms, then you know you have the virus, then you know what to do to kill them. Now, your other question, what if you can't smell it? Yeah, if your smell and taste is very diminished, that's okay. You know what's going on inside your house, right? You know if you're plugging in those Glade plugins. You know if you're spraying Lysol all over the house, which, by the way, Lysol is the #1 carcinogen, #1. And you know what the biggest demographic of people who get cancer is? The biggest demographic of people who get cancer. Do you know what that is? Stay-at-home moms. You know why? Because they're constantly cleaning. They're constantly coming in contact with those cleaners. You got to get rid of all those shitty cleaners that are making us sick, because the viruses can feed off of all of those chemicals. So even if you can't smell them, you know if you're burning candles or not. You know if you're using those chemical cleaners. You know if you're putting in those Glade plugins, putting perfume on your body. Excuse me. I think like at like an hour, I start losing my voice. And there we are. It's 10 to 6. Those are the things that you are in control of. When you step outside, no, you can't control any of those smells, right? You can control not going into Bath and Body Works, but you can't control most of those smells. So get your body to a state that is strong enough where I can go out, I can smell all that shit that I smell out there, but I don't stay out there. I made sure that my home is filled with natural things, natural fragrances. Yeah, it still smells good, but it's not from chemicals. It's from essential oils. Yes, essential oils are perfectly safe. They're not chemicals. So if you have any more questions, put them in. Oh, and I love perfume. Yeah, absolutely. We all love perfume, right? But that stuff right there, being on our clothes, being on our skin, seeping through our skin, being on our clothes, and us being able to smell it, that's feeding the virus. So anytime I smell anything, I'm like, where is that coming from? Julie, no, go take that off. Go wash that off. She's like, oh yeah, sorry, Ma, I sprayed myself at school today. So you don't have to be a freak about it, but you do have to be mindful in your house. You have to make sure that you know what's feeding the virus, what is good for you, what's not good for you, what foods are going to heal you. Put the good stuff in your body. Follow the stuff in the group. Follow the information in the group. Sign on to the coaching if that's what you want. If you want the accelerated healing, the Zoom calls every week, it's all there for you. Here's the information. Take advantage of it or don't, but it's here for you. At least you can pass it along to somebody who needs it. So let me just make sure that I answered all of the questions. Who said that? Chris, yeah, I got it. All makes sense. It really does. And you're going to wait like 10 years. You're going to be like, oh my God, this chick on Facebook, she used to talk about EBV being the cause of autoimmune disease. We all thought she was crazy. Yeah, no, it's going to be like the germ theory. It's going to be like, oh my God, can you imagine all those years ago when they didn't know about germs and people were dying? They're going to be saying, oh my God, remember the era of the autoimmune disease when people would be shamed into thinking their bodies were attacking itself, as if the body could attack itself. It's all going to be common knowledge one day. So we're living through this and we have to get this information out. You'll see the people in Minding Your Soul, how many people are healing. The people who are a part of the Path to Healing coaching program, they're in Minding Your Soul. They're posting about it. So success leaves clues. So do your part, spread the information, gather this, forward it to anybody who you know needs it. And if you need anything, I always offer free consultations. You can go on mindingyoursoul.com. The consultation link is right there. I'll be happy to answer any questions and get you started. Enrollment in the program is going to open sometime in the fall. I don't know when exactly. He's 4 months old. You know what I mean? Like I think it's going to be fall, but I will confirm the month before, I promise. Who said that? Chris, my friend in Washington said he thought my stuff was EBV back when it all first happened. I did have mono. Oh, see, especially when people tell me, oh yeah, I did have mono. I'm like, oh, there you go. You don't need any tests. You don't need to question anything. If you had mono, you know you have the EBV. It's kind of harder when you don't get diagnosed with mono if you have like a lesser strain of EBV, because then you still have all of these symptoms, but it's so much harder for us to believe that it's EBV unless you go get that antibody test. If you have the antibodies for EBV, your doctors will say, I saw that, Queen Janine. You know, that makes me smile. Thank you very much. It makes my ego smile. And I feel guilty smiling so big about it, but I really do love the Queen Janine. Thank you. So the blood test, when you go test for EBV, if you see the antibodies in your blood, then you'll know that you had it, because the EBV never leaves. It leaves your blood and it goes into your organs and eventually your nervous system. But what it leaves behind in your blood as evidence is the antibodies. So when the doctor says, no, you don't have EBV, you only have the antibodies, you know the truth. So this video was the truth behind MS. The truth is you have the Epstein-Barr virus. Kill the virus, get rid of the symptoms. I was paralyzed. I am no longer paralyzed. I no longer have any symptoms thanks to the medical medium getting me over that hump. I did it about 60% of the way until 2015 when he released his first book. And then I went from 60% to 100%. I like to say 110% because I just went through childbirth and no symptoms. Who said that? Oh, Quinn. I feel like I might have had it when I was younger, but I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. Because if it's not bad enough for you to go to a doctor and get diagnosed, you don't know. You kind of just get through it. So the sad thing is my daughter had it. She just had it last year. And now I know she's got to be on the protocol no matter what. She has to be on the protocol. And she's very happy to do it because she saw what I went through. They saw the whole thing. And they don't fear MS. They don't fear EBV or mono, my kids, because they've seen me go through it. And now they just see MS as something mom got over. My son is actually quite cocky about it. If you scroll down far enough into my personal profile on Facebook, you'll see the post that I made. I took a picture of the wheelchair in Target. You know, when you walk into Target and off to the side, they have a couple wheelchairs. A couple of years ago, we're walking into Target and my son, who is 19 now, so let's say he was 15, walking in and he's walking in like all cocky, like, your average 15-year-old. He's like, "Hey, Ma, look familiar?" And he was looking over at the wheelchairs. And my heart sank. I had no idea that I don't know what that did to me. It was like, it was no big deal. To me, it was such trauma. What I had been through. My God, Mom used a wheelchair. We went through Disney World with a wheelchair. Yeah, we got to the front of all the lines, but some mom couldn't walk. Like, I thought it was so traumatic to them. And here he is going, "Hey, Ma, look familiar? Remember when you used to use one of those?" And he keeps walking. To me, that was the moment where I was like, you know what? This is no big deal to them. This is just something that mom had and you get over it. And that's what I want for the next generation. I want us, if we're going to act probably a lot faster than the medical industry, right? So the medical industry is probably going to take their sweet ass time coming out and like recognizing that they were wrong for the past 100 years. We are going to be the ones who get this information out and to end the suffering. There is no reason to suffer the way I did. There is no reason to be stuck in a bed while your two little kids are playing in another room and you don't have the ability to get there, to help them, to play with them, to feed them, to change them. There is no reason for anyone to go through that anymore. We have the answers. We know why we're sick and we know how to heal. All right. With that, I'm getting off my soapbox. All right, everyone. Who said that? Suzanne, you're too cute too. Thank you very much. I really love doing these with you. I love the interaction. I really want to do a Zoom soon so that we can all get on Zoom. Hopefully it doesn't crash my computer. I don't think it will. But you know what I'll do? I'll plug the wire. Rather than doing it wirelessly, I'll plug the wire in. I always hear that that's better. We'll get on Zoom and we'll just do a live Q&A. I don't know when that's going to be, but I will schedule that soon. I got to check with my husband's schedule. All right, everyone. It was great to see you. Any questions, post them in the group, whether you're watching the live or the replay. If you post your questions, I'm always going to get that notification, so I could always answer them. If you want to email me, it's gethealthy@mindingyoursoul.com, and you can find that email address and plus the link to schedule a consultation on mindingyoursoul.com. And if I don't hear from you, hopefully I will see you on next Wednesday's Live at 5. I have no idea what the topic is going to be, but it's going to be a good one. All right, everyone. You have a great night. Have a great week, and I will see you in the group. Goodbye.